have finally completed Badum's Fortuna's favorite questline, and let me tell you, this thing was hard. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch because I stream almost every day. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. So this questline is something you get from Badum. So obviously, if you go over to Badum, he's going to give you the questline, but each tier gives you something different. You're not going to get K marks back. You're going to get none of that because this is a questline where you're meant to struggle, and let me tell you, you struggle. So if you complete part 1 of this quest, you're going to get a banner. This banner is pretty cool. Nothing really against it. It's super easy to get, but as you see, it's like him taking his mask apart, his eyes light up. It's super sick, and it's also super easy to unlock, so why not get it, put it on, show it off a little bit. But this is a pretty cool reward for simply being level 12 in all your factions. Now for part 2 of the quest line, you're gonna get 200 Aurum, and by the end of the quest line, you'll have about 800 Aurum for this quest line, and that's almost enough to get the battle pass for this season. With the Aurum generator, obviously you'll have enough. Part 2 is just simply Aurum. Part 3 is where you get your gloves, and the gloves are actually pretty cool. If I go over here to character, I go to customize, let me go to gloves, and if we go all the way down here, we have the Tempest gloves, and they just kind of match the suit. They have some red tints to it, obviously. They look pretty clean for being black gloves. They're pretty cool. They can go around with some fits. It's good to just have some black gloves with a red undertone because as you see, it matches the bodysuit that I have that you get later down on the line. But the gloves, again, they're pretty cool. They're pretty plain, but again, they match the vibe of the character. Now for part 4, you're going to get Aurum once again. Then for part 5, you're going to get a gun charm, a weapon charm, so to say. So let me show that off really quickly. So if we go to charms, it's just this simple little red dot. It's a seeker droid. Doesn't look too crazy, doesn't look too cool, but again, it's just a little weapon charm. I mean, what are you gonna do? The real rewards are at the end, so I mean, anything extra is good, I guess. But I'm not really a huge fan of this. It's just a circle with a red light. I'm not the biggest fan of this. It'll buff, I guess. If we go to part 6, we just got Aurum once again, and now part 7 is where the cool rewards start coming in. Part 7 is where you get the actual skin that I'm rocking. So as you see, if I go right here, this is the skin that I'm rocking. He has the red eyes. He has it all going on, but he's a pretty sick character. The gold obviously isn't a part of the character, but I'll show you what this character looks like in his true glory all by himself. So this is what he looks like as a character. Again, it's a pretty cool character just because you can also mix and match him with a lot of stuff. Again, I like the character. I like the face. I like the tone of the suit underneath him, but I like to match him with a lot of different stuff. So obviously you can put him with a lot of different stuff that actually works really well. I was rocking the gold fit because I thought it looked so good, but I'll probably be rocking this gold fit. I might switch it off because there's a lot of cool styles I can go with it. Maybe something like this, or maybe something with this vest looks pretty cool. But again, there's a lot of different styles I can do to try to make this guy kind of fit me. The coolest thing is obviously the head, and I think it's super sick. Now let's go for what we're all waiting for, and that's the Karambit. If we get to the very last part, you get 200 Aurum and you unlock the Karambit. Now the Karambit is super awesome because it has its own weapon inspect, and you've probably seen it already in raid from a couple different people, but it's pretty awesome. If we go down here, it's going to be an exotic rarity, and look at this thing. It is absolutely beautiful. It is sick. Look how he holds it. It's super cool. And if we go in raid, you'll see the true glory of this knife. Now the knife looks really cool in raid. If we do a heavy knife attack with this thing, I hold my melee back and then it knifes. There's a cool flip afterwards, which is pretty cool. Then if we do a light knife attack, we do a knife, then it just flips the thing, and it's pretty awesome. Now if we weapon inspect, it does a lot of cool twisties and turnies and a lot of cool stuff going on here. But obviously this is easily my favorite knife in the game because I worked so hard for it. Obviously I did so much stuff for this. I did so much. I can spam the weapon inspect and just make it look really cool overall. And overall, I think this knife is an absolute beauty. I think it looks absolutely sick, and it's just worthwhile, man. It's really worth getting, in my opinion. Again, some people might not think it's worth it, but I think it's super worth it just for what it is. Just spamming it, people know what you did to earn this knife, and it's just a super cool feature to have, in my opinion, to have this knife available to all of us. When you're running around in raid, it's honestly really nice too because it doesn't take up a huge part of your screen, so you can actually see a lot of your screen when you're running around. As you see, I barely see the knife. I see it a little bit in the bottom right, but literally I don't really see the knife that much when I'm running around, and it's really helpful for just being able to look around in my environment because like knives like the baseball bat and those things, those big objects, take away so much of your screen. So this knife is nice, it's light, you can knife it, get a nice cool animation after, you can heavy swing it, get another nice cool little animation after it, and it's just a really cool thing to have in raid. And I would 100% recommend you guys get this thing because let me tell you, this thing's a beauty, and I'll be rocking it for the rest of my eternity, let me tell you. Now one thing you also get from unlocking the complete quest line is access to an exclusive area, which can be pretty cool for future content coming in the game. So right here is the Fortuna's favorite area. You walk over here, press F on the area, and it's going to take you and teleport you up top here to a cool exclusive area where you're only going to see people that actually unlock this. So there's a couple different memorial spots. So right here is the Howler. Show some cool Howler items, some cool Howler memorabilia. Walk over here, there's a meteor. Walk over here, there's some cool items. Over here is the Theris area where you see everything about Theris. And right here in the middle is some really cool areas with the Karambits, all the creature heads lined up. There's some Ledium, there's some oil, there's an Alpha Crusher Heart right there. This area is pretty cool because you can also look down at people that don't have access to this area, right? You can put your banner up here, you can flex on people. People know that, wow, you did this. You're the one that did this. You're the one that took that much time out of your day to do this, you know what I mean? Now, this area is pretty plain right now, but imagine in the future they add a faction that's directly for here, so you have to have this area unlocked in the future. That'd be a really cool piece of content to add for the longevity of the game. But again, I think it's just a cool thing to have in the game, but I think it's a cool way to kind of hang out with people. So it'd be awesome if they added VoIP like in the station so you can actually talk to people in here. It'd be pretty cool. But again, that's about all you get from completing everything in Badum's questline, which is again very, very difficult to complete. Boys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one.